Okay, this is a quick review of how to find latitude and longitude. This is something that we did an indicator assessment over this past Friday, and those of you that got less than 80% on that are going to need to retake it. So this is a chance for you to review a little bit about how to find latitude and longitude so you can retake it and be successful the second time around. All right, just as a quick reminder, the lines of latitude run left and right on the map, and the lines of longitude are the ones that run up and down on the map, that run north and south on the map. All of the lines of latitude are showing either how far north you are of the equator or how far south you are of the equator, and the lines of longitude are showing how far east you are of the prime meridian or how far west you are of the prime meridian. Remember, the prime meridian is that 0-degree line that runs north and south up and down on the map. The equator is that 0-degree line that runs left and right, or east and west on the map. Now, if you look where that red arrow is pointing, that's point A. So our coordinates for point A would be, you can see that it's on the 75-degree line, the line that's running left and right. It's on the 75-degree line, and since that line is above the equator, that's 75 degrees north. You can also see that the other line it's laying on, if you look at the numbers across the top of the map, is 90 degrees. Now, is it 90 degrees east or west? Well, find the prime meridian, find that 0 line that runs up and down, and that particular 90-degree line that we're looking at is to the left or to the west of the prime meridian. So our coordinates are 75 degrees north, 90 degrees west. Let's do it again for line B. Point B, excuse me. Point B is on the 60-degree line, and again, we're above the equator, so it's 60 degrees north, and it's on the 120-degree line, and again, we are west of the prime meridian. We're to the left or west of the prime meridian on the map. Just picture your compass rose, north, south, east, and west, and if you think about that, okay, from where that 0 line is, it is to the west. So it is at 120 degrees west. So 60 degrees north, 120 degrees west. Okay, I'll give you a moment to think about point C. You can see that it's on the 60-degree line above the equator, so 60 degrees north. Now find the other line, the line of longitude. That's also 60 degrees. And now, if you look where it is compared to the 0 line, it's to the right, so it's 60 degrees east. 60 degrees north, 60 degrees east. Point D falls not exactly on any line, so we have to think a little bit more. It falls halfway between 0 degrees at the equator and 30 degrees north. So halfway between 0 and 30 would be 15 degrees north. And it falls halfway between 30 and 60 when we look at the lines of longitude, the lines going up and down. So that would be 45 degrees, and it's to the left or west of the prime meridian. So it is 15 degrees north, 45 degrees west. Point E is right on the equator, so that's going to be 0 degrees for our first coordinate, for our first number. And then it's on the 150-degree line, and again, by now we should be thinking, all right, we're left of the prime meridian, we're left of that 0 line in the middle, so it's 150 degrees west. 0 degrees, 150 degrees west. Okay, think about F for a moment. Okay, F is on the 60-degree line, but we're below the equator now, so that's 60 degrees south, and it's on the 120-degree line, and that's west of the prime meridian, so 120 degrees west. Sliding over to G, again, I'll give you about 5 seconds to think about it. Point G is on the 30-degree south line, and it's on the 0 degrees of longitude line, the prime meridian. So it's 30 degrees south, 0 degrees. And if I'm going too fast, remember, you can always pause this video and think about it, and then start it again to hear the answer. Over to point H. Again, we're not exactly on any lines, but we're right in the middle of them. So we are between 0 degrees and 30 degrees south. So halfway between 0 and 30 is 15 degrees south. And we are halfway between 60 degrees east, and 90 degrees east. So halfway between those would be 75 degrees. So we're looking at 15 degrees south, 75 degrees east. Point I. Point I is halfway between 30 degrees south and 60 degrees south, so it would be 45 degrees south. And it's right on the 150 degree line. But remember, the other 150 degree line that we saw earlier was west of the prime meridian. This one is to the right of the prime meridian, so it's 150 degrees east. 45 degrees south, 150 degrees east. And then we have point J. I'll give you a moment to think about that one. Hopefully it's starting to become a little bit easier for you. Point J is at the 30 degree north line because, again, find the 0 line. We're on the line above it, so it's north. Up is generally north on a map. And then it's on the 180 degree line. And again, we are to the right of the prime meridian, which is going to make it east. So 30 degrees north, 180 degrees east. Hopefully this helped you. If you need to watch it again, that you can watch it as many times as you'd like. There is also a link on my website to a web page called abcya, abcya.com. But there's a link on my website to that, and it takes you to a game on latitude and longitude. So it's a great way to practice this skill over and over in a fun way so that you're prepared to retake your indicator assessment.